The Ainu are an indigenous people who primarily inhabit Hokkaido, the northernmost island of Japan. Their mythology is filled with deities that are connected to nature and the elements. From fire gods to bear spirits, the Ainu worship a variety of gods and spirits that inhabit the world around them. The Ainu people historically have their own language, but as a result of assimilation, most speak Japanese and do not speak the Ainu language. In Ainu mythology, gods are known as Kamui. These Kamui can be powerful gods, but they can also be lesser spirits of nature, animals, and the elements. The word Kamui is key in this mythology because each god has his or her own specific role in the natural world. The relationship between the Ainu and their gods is close, almost familial, and that makes this mythology especially unique. In today's video, we'll look at 12 of the most important gods in Ainu mythology. As always, I have created this content with the utmost respect for this unique culture, and if at any time the pronunciation is not correct, you should know that I do it from admiration. I invite you, if you can, to explore more about the Ainu people, because their history and mythology deserve to be known and appreciated. As some of you already know, we are going through certain challenges with the channel. If you want to join as a member and support us, it would be a great help. Also, leaving a comment is also a great contribution. Your support means a lot to keep us moving forward. Thank you, and now, let's start. Number 1. Kandoro Camui. Kandoro Camui is the god of the sky in Ainu mythology. He does not usually interact with humans directly. Imagine Kandoro Camui as a cosmic administrator who makes sure everything runs smoothly, but who rarely gets his hands dirty. He is calm, serene, and above all, fair. Although his presence can be felt in the rain that falls from the sky or the wind that blows, he rarely comes down from his heavenly throne to intervene directly in the affairs of mortals. Although Kandoro Camui is believed to be powerful, he is not presented as a supreme being. In many ways, he is a secondary figure. While his presence was necessary for the creation of the world, he plays only a small role in subsequent events, often as a mediator. He is considered the overseer and master of heaven, in the same way that Chap Camui is the overseer of the earth. Number 2. Chap Camui. Chap Camui is the protector of birds and an important figure in Ainu mythology. The Ainu believe that birds are divine messengers, bringing news from the gods and carrying prayers to the heavens. The relationship between humans and Chap Camui is very symbiotic. Birds, under the protection of this god, help humans find food and read signs of nature. For example, a flight of birds in a certain direction might indicate the arrival of a storm. Chap Camui is also seen as a god who protects hunters, as birds can serve as guides in the forests. Chap is the Ainu god of owls and the earth. He is responsible for overseeing the behavior of humans and gods. He is considered a deity of material success. It is depicted as a large owl, unlike smaller owls, such as the horned owl, which represent demons and other evil spirits. The Ainu believed that the owl watched over the local Mosir, country, and Kotan, villages. So, Chap Camui came to be depicted as the master of the domain. In some areas, his tears were said to be of gold and silver. His most important myth establishes him as a god of abundance who ensures that rituals are performed correctly. As the story goes, famine had struck the land and humanity was starving. This god wished to send a message to heaven asking about the cause of the famine and asked the crow to be his messenger. However, his message and instructions were very long and took days to recite. On the third day, the crow fell asleep and Chap Camui became angry and killed him. So he asked Mountain Jay to be his messenger, but on the fourth day, he fell asleep and was killed in turn. The third messenger was the Dipper bird, who listened respectfully for 6 full days until Chap Camui finally completed the recitation of the message. The Dipper bird then flew to the heavens and returned with news that the Kamuy of fish and game were angry because the humans had stopped showing proper respect for the gifts they gave them. Accordingly, Chap Camui went to the humans and taught them the proper rituals to perform after killing a fish or a deer. Once the humans began performing these rituals, the Kamui were appeased and the famine ceased. Number 3. Kimun Kamui. Kimun Kamui is probably one of the most popular gods in Ainu mythology. He is the god of bears and mountains. Bears are considered sacred by the Ainu, as they are seen as divine beings that come down from the mountains to bring blessings to humans. Bears are generally benevolent, although there are stories of Ararush, monster bears. While we're at it, I'd like to take this opportunity to ask for your comment in case you want me to start working on a video about the mythological creatures of the Ainu people. If this video reaches 50 comments, I'll get to it. One of the most important rituals in Ainu culture is a ceremony in which a bear is sacrificed to send its spirit back to the world of the gods, thanking it for the blessings it has brought. The ritual that was carried out in all the villages that could do so consisted of capturing a live bear cub. This cub would be cared for, fed, and well treated for a year. A bear ceremony was then performed, during which it was shot with arrows until it was dead. After this, its flesh was eaten to free its spirit and return to the heavens, and when it arrived at Kimun Kamui's house, it would recount the mercy of humans in gratitude for this service. Number 4. Hasui Kamui. Hasui Kamui is the goddess of hunting and is especially important in a culture that relies heavily on hunting for survival. She is sometimes called Iso Sangamat, woman who brings down prey, and Kamui Pasaguru, powerful Kamui. This goddess teaches hunters the skills necessary to track, trap, and respect the animals they hunt. The Ainu believe that every animal has a spirit, and this goddess is the mediator who ensures that the slaughtered animals are treated with respect. She is depicted as a long-haired woman wielding a bow and arrows, often carrying a child on her back. She is accompanied by, or sometimes appears in the form of, a small bird, which shows hunters the way to prey. She is also represented by the aconite plant, with which Ainu hunters poisoned their arrows. Hunters worshipped her to ensure a successful hunt, and fishermen to ensure a bountiful catch. She is also invoked to aid in motherhood. Number 5. Repun Kamui. Repun Kamui is the god of the sea and is revered by fishermen and travelers who navigate the waters. The sea is both a source of life and a dangerous place, so Repun Kamui plays a dual role. He can be a generous provider, filling fishermen's nets with bountiful catches, but he can also be volatile and capricious, unleashing storms and waves. This god is sometimes depicted as an orca. In other cases, he is a carefree and somewhat mischievous young man armed with a harpoon. He is an important figure in Ainu mythology because the sea represents opportunities for harvests that could not be found on land. Fishing, whaling, and maritime trading expeditions. One of his myths shows his carefree nature and generosity. In the story, he harpoons a whale and its calf and throws them ashore near a human village. When he arrives home, he is visited by a sea wren who tells him that humans are cutting up the whales with sickles and axes, that is, without showing proper respect to the animal or to Repun Kamui as the donor. Instead of getting angry, he laughs and says that the meat belongs to humans and they can do with it what they want. Shortly after, he sets off again and passes through the same village where he discovers that the sea wren has lied. The humans are dressed in ritual robes and cut the whale's flesh with sacred swords in the proper manner. Touched by this display of mercy, Repun Kamui assures the humans that the sea's bounty will protect them from starvation. Respecting orcas as deities, Ainu tribes held traditional funerals for stranded or deceased orcas. This god is also credited with saving a village in Hokkaido from a giant spider, Yaoshikep, by dragging it out to sea from Uchiura Bay and transforming it into an octopus-like creature, Kandoro Camui. But hey, I won't go into detail. As I mentioned before, if this video reaches 50 comments, I'll get to work on a video of the creatures of the Ainu people. Number 6. Shamba Camui. Shamba Camui is another of the most important gods within Ainu mythology. He is the god of the forest, wood, grain, and other forms of vegetation. He is therefore also the god of many household tools containing wood. Forests are sacred to the Ainu as they provide food, wood, and shelter, so Shamba Camui is seen as a protector and guardian of these vast natural spaces. In Ainu culture, everything in the forest has a spirit, and it is Shamba Camui who ensures that these spirits work in harmony with humans. Often depicted as a calm and wise god, Shamba Camui watches from the shadows, ensuring that humans do not take more than necessary. His relationship with the Ainu is one of mutual respect. Hunters and gatherers ask permission from this god before taking any resources from the forest, knowing that they must maintain a balance between giving and receiving. The presence of this god can be felt in the calm of the wind blowing through the trees or in the rustling of leaves underfoot. Number 7. Kamui Huchi. Kamui Huchi, or Kamui Fuchi, is the Ainu goddess of the home and fire. Her name means woman of the sparks of rising fire or woman of the sparks of rising ash, and she is also known as Iresu Kamui, mistress of the people. She is one of the most important Kamui in Ainu mythology and acts as the guardian of the gateway between the world of humans and the world of the Kamui. Her position is so important that she never leaves her home. Therefore, the fire in the home must never go out completely. There are several myths about the origin of Kamui Huchi. In the most common, she descends from the heavens, accompanied by Kana Kamui, the Kamui of thunder and lightning. In another version, she was born from the fire-producing drill and is the sister of the goddess of hunting. A third holds that she is the daughter of an elm tree by the primordial creator Kandoro Camui. Kamui Huchi instructed Ainu women in the making of kut, sacred belts. In one myth, her husband is seduced by Waka Usamu, the deity of fresh water. Kamui Huchi, insulted, challenges her rival to a duel of sorcery, from which she emerges victorious with relative ease, and her husband, chastened, returns home. She is the guardian of the home and also the judge of domestic affairs. She is said to punish those who pollute the home or fail to maintain proper domestic relations. Number 8. Nusa Koroi. Nusa Koroi is the god of altars and offerings, an important figure in Ainu rituals. He is the founding god of the community, representing the dead and serving as a messenger for the other gods. The Ainu built small altars to honor the Kamui, where they left offerings such as food, alcohol, and sacred objects. Nusa Koroi oversees these altars, making sure the offerings are proper and that they reach the gods. Although he is a background figure, his presence is essential for the rituals to be carried out correctly. He is like the intermediary who ensures that the lines of communication between humans and the gods remain open. Without his blessing, the offerings might not reach the gods, so it is vital that each altar is maintained with respect and care. Number 9. Kinasut Kamui. Kinasut Kamui is the god of snakes. He is a benevolent figure who is invoked to ask for protection against various calamities. He is a benevolent and helpful god to humans. He controls the behavior of snakes and protects those who worship him from their bites. In Ainu mythology, snake spirits are believed to possess people and cause various ailments, such as eye diseases and paralysis, and Kinasut Kamui is invoked to exorcise these spirits from a victim. He also offers communities protection from other diseases, particularly typhoid fever. He is generally said to be the brother of Nusa Koroi, but the two are sometimes considered to be one entity. Number 10. Aoami Kamui. Aoami Kamui, or Oina Kamui for short, is a god and cultural hero. In Ainu mythology, he is credited with teaching humans domestic skills and is called Ainu Raker, he who has a human scent, father of the Ainu or father of mankind, and also known as Okikurmi. He is described as a large man enveloped in smoke. When the smoke clears, he is seen surrounded by flames from waist to feet and wears a cloak of elm bark and a sword. He also wields a magical spear of mugwort. The flames he is enveloped in indicate his virtuous character. Aoami Kamui is taught by Kamui Huchi, the deity of the home, and descends from the heavens to impart his knowledge to mankind. He is responsible for teaching Ainu women to weave and men to carve. He is credited with teaching fishing, hunting, gathering, architecture, medicine, and religious rituals, and is associated with law and song. He also fights several battles on behalf of humanity. On one occasion, he destroys a personification of hunger with his sagebrush spear, then creates herds of deer and schools of fish. Finally, Aoami Kamui, disappointed by the decadence of the Ainu, departs for another country. Some myths say he returns to the heavens. In one myth, when he returns to the heavens, the gods send him back because he smells of humans. So he leaves his clothes on the ground to return. His old sandals are said to have become the first squirrels. Number 11. Waka Usamu. Waka Usamu is the goddess of fresh water. She is also known as Peterushmat, woman of the watering hole. She is portrayed as a long-haired woman who is a skilled dancer and singer. In Ainu mythology, she is a benevolent goddess who oversees the river valleys in which Ainu communities are concentrated and is responsible for all fresh water. She is sympathetic to humanity and is sometimes called upon to intercede with other Kamui on their behalf. One such myth tells how Waka Usamu ended a famine that had broken out. At the request of Ainu Camui, the culture hero we saw earlier, she invites a few gods and the overseer of the land to a banquet. She dances and sings, entertaining them, and over the course of the evening she mentions the plight of the humans. The fish god informs her that the humans were not killing the fish in the proper ritual manner, so he has locked the salmon away in his storehouse. The hunting goddess says the same of the deer. Kandoro Camui is also angry because the humans have not made offerings to him. So Waka Usamu and the sympathetic Hasui Camui, while continuing to dance, send their souls to the storehouses and set the deer and salmon free. To avoid making a scene and spoiling the party, the other Kamui had no choice but to continue the feast. Afterwards, Waka Usamu sends a dream to Ainu Camui, telling her what had happened and why, and warning her to see that the rituals were carried out in the right way. Number 12. Chap Camui. Chap Camui is the goddess of spiders. She is also known as Ashkatana Mat, long-fingered woman. She is the familiar of shamans and is invoked to help in childbirth. Chap Camui is a benevolent and wise figure in Ainu mythology. Although traditionally Ainu women were subordinate to men, they had power in some areas, most notably in marriage, where they controlled the choice of their partners. According to legend, Chap Camui was pursued by Poranitne Camui, a demonic being who lived beyond the horizon. A friendly deity warned Chap of his unwanted suitor and set a trap for him, sending his servants to ambush him. He then transformed himself into a reed. When Poranitne Camui appeared, he found his house apparently empty and began searching for it. As he searched through the embers of the fireplace, his servant, who had been hiding there, jumped out and hit him in the eye. As he fell back in surprise, another servant poked him. She then stung his other eye, bit his hand, and as he tried to escape, 2 other servants fell on his head. The demon, badly wounded, fled and was never heard of again. Women also turn to her during childbirth because her long fingers enable her to safely extract the baby.